Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rihanna, and welcome back to Fresh Off the Broke.
Fresh Off the Broke is about personal experiences growing up Asian American in a predominantly white community, Asian media, and Asian pop culture in general. Race has always been a sensitive topic. Every day there are debates over race. With our podcast, we intend to shed light on the experiences of first-generation Asian immigrants, not put them on a pedestal.
We understand that race isn't everything, but there should be an acknowledgement of people of color, the knowledge gap, and the racial divide that will ideally be broken. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the episode. Today's FOB fact episode is about not fitting into an Asian category.
Back to another FOB fact.
It's been a hot minute.
We hope you've been enjoying these.
Because we have.
Yeah, I think. I mean, they're not extremely different from our usual episodes, but I do kind of like being able to talk about something in more of a personal way. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. Or in more of an advice style, even though we're not always giving formal advice.
Yeah. I like the
fun.
structure.
I hope you find it fun too.
Mhm.
Anyways, like Rihanna said, this episode is about not fitting into an Asian category. And by what we mean by Asian category, we are not talking about race. We're not talking about like East Asian, Southeast Asian, West Asian, not categories like that. We're kind of talking about niches or aesthetics or cliques in a way.
Uh-huh.
Is it clique or click?
Cliques.
Okay, clique. And we're talking about, so I mean, think about stereotypical high school clique, right? They got the jocks, the cheerleaders, and the theater kids, blah, blah, blah. We are kind of talking about that, but for Asian kids, more specifically, I guess, Asian American or Asian diaspora. And it's about, I mean, this episode came to be because I was thinking about this lately, about this idea of fitting in or not fitting in, which I mean is something that we and many people talk about in general. Because when you are a person of color, and also just a young person in general, you think a lot about your identity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can also be older and think about an identity or your identity. An identity crisis does not discriminate age.
For real.
You got what is it? The quarter life crisis, midlife crisis.
Life crisis in general.
Yeah, exactly. And so this episode, it comes partially from personal experience and then just from what we see and hear out in the world and out in the media.
And we want to point out that maybe some of you don't really understand like why we're talking about this, but especially in like our generation, Gen Z loves to categorize things. Think about all the different like aesthetics or like cores that you see on TikTok and all these like trending things, like the clean girl aesthetic. Are you a clean girl? Are you a maximalist? You know, that type of thing. And with the rise of, I think, to say it like crassly in a way, like just the popularization of just Asian culture in general recently, we're seeing a lot of categories specific to Asian culture, not Asian culture, but Asian like American culture and that experience. So we want to talk about that. And just
like
a quick
K-drama fan.
Yeah.
This and that, the anime.
Yeah. We wanted to give a quick disclaimer as well that obviously these categories are not just specific to Asian people.
Yeah,
Like I
definitely
said,
not.
there's like the clean girl, that's just in general. That's like people in general. But we are speaking again because this podcast is about the Asian Canadian experience. Um, we want to talk
I mean,
Mhm.
we are we have the Asian Canadian experience.
Yeah, I mean Asian Canadian, Asian American, Asian Western, or like Asian Australian. That's not West. But anyways, you get the point. We wanted to point out that there are like specific details within like Asian categories, quote unquote. So, yeah.
That was probably our longest intro we've ever had.
Yeah.
But hey, nothing wrong with a bit of preparation.
Hmm.
But as Brianna was kind of introducing, and I mean she did say, and we're acknowledging that these categories aren't specific to Asian, because I mean think about what I said about high school and the whole jocks and this and that. And so let's get into some of the different categories, which we probably will not hit all of them because
Oh, for sure, no.
I think, especially with social media and the recent generation, anything can be a category.
Yeah.
A color could even be a category. I mean, right now in the fall, like this year, this fall, people are talking about cherry red
Mm-hmm.
or like deep red, like cherry red season, cherry girl kind of thing. And so do bear in mind that we will not hit all the categories.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they just keep coming.
Yeah,
Although
they're
with,
endless.
I guess with the Asian one, there are some general categories.
For sure.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
So some categories to start off. I mean, you have the stereotypical ones like the nerdy Asian, the oh they have like the church Asian,
Mm.
like the church going
Yeah, the
Asian.
religious.
You got the rave Asian, like the
Mm.
rave and club Asian. You got the FOBs, such as the rich international student FOBs or the non-rich international student FOBs.
Mm.
You got the K-pop Asian, the ones that the ones that learn the dances,
Mm.
do dance covers. You got, let me think. You got, I like to think, I mean, not that I like or don't like to think. There's the pastel
Oh, yeah.
kind of anime, but some they don't always like anime, but sometimes they could be into Japanese culture.
Yeah, typically that is.
You got the artsy Asian, and like I mean, you'll start to think, I mean, don't aren't there just artsy people? Aren't there just nerdy people? Aren't there just yes,
There are,
yes.
obviously.
What else?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's just so many. It gets to a point where it's like, and this just goes for categorization in general. Like, where do we stop?
And where do you start?
Yeah. Because, like, as Tiffany was saying, like a cherry girl type thing, like, it starts becoming like, are you a mango girl? Are you a strawberry girl? It's like, okay,
Oh my gosh,
what?
strawberry. Actually, you're so right.
Yeah, strawberry's a big one. And even like within categories, there are subcategory, like there's just so many layers. Like you have like your typical like party going Asians, and then maybe it splits off into rave Asian and like clubbing people, and like just different. And you like the pastel ones, maybe they're
Oh my
into
gosh,
culture,
I just thought
maybe
of the tech
Sanrio,
Asians.
tech Asians.
Oh my gosh, that's such a big category.
Yeah.
With peace and love to any tech Asian listening to us. I just thought of the tech Asians, the ones in polo shirts
Yeah.
and they like to climb and hike.
Yes. Gosh.
Software engineer.
There's just so many.
There's what else? Oh, I feel like nursing major Asian.
Oh, you mean Filipinos? That was a joke. Anyone's listening
Rihanna's Filipino.
and does not.
I feel the need to say that. Actually, Rihanna, you say it yourself.
I don't need to say that. I don't need to give a disclaimer. I have a question.
Yes.
Firstly, okay, what category do you think you fit into?
Oh,
And then
second, the end. That's so funny.
Second question is, what category is like the most attractive to you in a guy? And then third one is, what's the worst category for a guy for like partner? Go.
Wait, pause. Not expecting you to say those last two. I don't know what I am. I think I might be a cross between one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, our episode, the whole point is that you don't fit into, well, not that you don't fit into one category, is that, I mean, you might not, but the whole point is not about having to fit in. I would say I'm a bit of a cross between something on the quote unquote nerdy, studious side, and then I I wouldn't the only reason why I kind of want to include this is just because of my style or some of my social circles.
Uh-huh.
But I would say I'm a cross between nerdy, studious Asian, and then I kind of leak into the FOB territory because
Like aesthetically in a way.
yes,
Yeah, that makes sense.
because by no means am I a rich FOB. Let's make that very clear. No Gucci shoes over here. But because I know how to speak Mandarin and Cantonese, sometimes I do talk a lot or help some of my international student classmates, and then we're friends, and I have WeChat and whatever. And then I do like their style, and so I sometimes kind of dress that way. I don't think there's no Asian American. Well, I mean, I guess there is an Asian American style, but that's probably more guys.
Yeah. It
The red and
is.
black flannel, the jean jacket with the Sherpa, the we'll get there. And yes, we are calling you out, Kevin.
Called out.
I wonder how many people named Kevin are listening to this podcast right now. Hey, Kevin.
Let
And
us know.
Justin. and what are other names? Jason. Oh, Jason. Jay. But yeah, I would say that is my category.
I see. That makes sense.
I did have a friend once categorize me as aesthetic Asian, and I don't really know what that means.
Just general aesthetic. Very unspecific.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's because our generation likes to use the word aesthetic a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people say, when people say that's so aesthetic, which I guess it grammatically doesn't make any sense because aesthetic is supposed to be a noun.
Mm-hmm.
But when we say, or when people say that's so aesthetic, they mean, oh, that's so aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
And so in a way, she's just saying I'm aesthetically pleasing, which I mean, thank you, but I don't know what an aesthetic Asian necessarily is.
Yeah.
Maybe you know, people listening.
Let us know.
Mm-hmm. Before we get into those other two questions that you asked me that I was not really expecting you to ask me, what is your category?
Oh, I think these are easy questions for me just because I aesthetically at least I I fit the okay. I'm very like it's a lot toned down now, but I was very stereotypical like alt Asian. Like piercings or fake piercings, dyed
Mm-hmm.
hair, grungier clothing type.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say I'm very basic now, which just because like
Basic?
yeah, pretty like in terms of how I dress. Um yeah, basic just simply just because like I have a job now. And you
That's
know, it's kind of hard to have like pink hair and stripes in your hair when
mm-hmm.
you have the job that I do. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's fine and like everyone's always like, oh, be who you are, whatever. But at the same time, like sometimes it's just easier to have a clean look.
Wouldn't it be so funny if you had an intense corporate job?
That would be funny. And I kind of wish I did. Or like an office job, you know, like a typical, I just sit down at a cubicle for 9 to 5. I would love that. But anyways, um,
You want me to like call someone up for you?
please. I just want I just need money.
I've been an office girl before.
That was
I
like specific though to like your overall goal. I
That's
will take
true.
any office job like where I can
You
just
want to be a
sit.
secretary?
Yeah, no, literally, I would love to. Um, but yeah, I think personality wise, you could just
Yeah, I
no,
think your category makes sense.
yeah.
I have a hard time because of the fact, it's kind of how this episode came to be, because I feel like because of what I said about social circles and whatever, where I have FOB friends or international student friends, and then I have Asian American friends. Sometimes I kind of float in the middle, and so I don't
Mhm.
really know what kind of category I am, which I don't have to know what category I am. I don't even
Yeah.
need a category.
Same with me. Like I don't socially I don't really have a category either. Like I think like I'm quiet. I don't really put myself out there or anything. I'm not like
Aesthetically, what category would you put me in? What do
um
I look like?
when you said like fob aesthetic, that makes sense to me. Like the way that you dress.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like to the non-fob at school, they definitely half of the time think I might be a fob.
It's possible. Simply just because of the way you dress.
And then to the FOB, they're like, she's not wearing Gucci. That's not.
Mm.
That's not one of us. Yeah.
You have an answer for the other ones? Because I think I do. So I can say mine while you talk, while you think, if you don't know yet.
I wasn't prepared to be asked that. Are you gonna go?
Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll start with the third one.
What's the
If
third one? Oh,
what you
the
don't like.
not. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be so for real. I cannot handle gym bros. Like, I think, yes, like it's good to go. Obviously, it's great to go to the gym. Personally, I don't, but like,
Block
as someone
everyone
who
we
like,
know that might listen to this episode from accessing this episode.
as someone
I feel
who,
so vulnerable right now.
as someone who doesn't like, no, I enjoy like exercise and even like the whole like other aspects of it, like balance, like just I'm super
I mean,
into
yeah,
like
you dance.
kinesiology and stuff. Yeah, I'm a dancer. Um,
I've
but
never heard you say that.
God, I just there's something about gym bro, like it's literally like gym cell culture is just a gym bro. Like there is to me there is no good balance between like a regular person and a person who's chronically at the gym. Um,
Oh, you mean those guys that are at the gym for 3 hours?
more like just like crazy people who are just like obsessed with like being at the gym and like, oh, this is my deadlift. I'm working my deadlift. Oh, the grind never stops. I'm thinking of very specific
Oh
people here.
God, this is gonna get us in trouble.
I don't care because I think you can go to the gym and not be a gym cell, and that's attractive. But as soon as you step into that like crazy mentality, you're too far gone. And I guess that's kind of like a cop out answer for me to say because that's literally like saying, "Oh, I don't like incels," because gym bros are straight up just
Yeah.
incels that go to the gym. Um, but yeah, because it's such a popular category nowadays, which is very, very concerning to me. I would like to put that out there. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you do make a good point. The ones that are really
yeah, you're straight up just an incel.
overly obsessed, and then it's just what was it? Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I just like, and also a lot of people, because we're seeing a rise in like that culture, a lot of people are going to the gym not really understanding how bodies work and like how to see the gains that they're trying to make. Like it's
Can't
just
have this
so like
conversation.
aggravating to see people just like jump into something and like just destroy their bodies and they don't even know it. um but yeah, gym bros, sorry, I cannot.
What? I don't even know what to say.
I mean, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
No, no, I don't even know. I mean, you gave a pretty good third answer. What's the? Oh, I guess. Okay. This could also be considered a cop out answer.
Okay.
I maybe we really do need to block this episode. I do not like the Asian American starter pack.
Oh, like just like a stereotypical.
Mm-hmm. You know those clothing items we were mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
The black
And I'm
flannel.
guessing you mean
Like
this more like aesthetically, right?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
Wait,
sense.
what would the other?
Like if there was a specific personality that you were thinking of.
In a way they do have.
Kind of, yeah. Honestly, yeah.
They all dress the same. I mean, I saw people making jokes about the Uniqlo Airism t-shirt guy.
Stop. It's true. It's so true, though. Oh, I have another
The
one.
the starter pack Asian American is those clothing items. I mean, the jean jacket with the white fur,
Yeah, no.
the that hairstyle.
God, please
You know
no.
what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do, and I don't. You didn't even describe it a little bit, and I know what you're talking about.
So I would say they're carbon copies of one another. What other clothing items are there?
Those are the main ones.
Yeah, I mean there are more. I think.
Can I say
Yeah, oh yeah. What was the thing you were thinking of?
I now this is just another personal thing,
I'm
but
afraid.
I cannot do like have like the church like super religious ones. I
Uh-huh.
just can't. I'm as someone who's personally been some people have tried to like convert me
Mhm.
like guys and I just can't.
What?
Yes. Or like
Whoa, wait! I need to hear more about this.
no, well it's not like convert but like over time they start talking more. Are you interested in this? Like you can tell when someone is like trying to hint at
Mhm.
certain things towards you or like
Mhm.
suggest certain things to you, which I understand.
Mhm.
And I think, if you're genuinely super into like you're super religious, you're
Mhm.
super faithful, and you just genuinely want to share that with other people, I fully get it. However, I'm talking about like toxic church guys, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
guys who
I
preach
mean,
a certain
there's
thing, they're actually not, and they're just like
yeah.
super like down your
People talk
throat
about
about
it.
it. I can't.
People have talked about the religious Asian guy that wears a chain, but then he's not. He does not follow. He does not practice what he preaches.
Like even that's different from someone who does follow, but like
Wait,
doesn't
what are you
realize.
talking about? Are you talking about the ones that do or don't?
I'm talking about the ones
There's
that do.
oh the overly religious.
Yeah, yeah. Like the guys who straight like are like
They
always at
have any
like
experience.
Bible study or whatever, but then when you meet them in person, they're actually like not a good person at all.
Uh,
If you're a person who like wears crosses or whatever and like you're actually not religious at all, like that's kind of like me.
Crosses aren't religious at all. I mean, those people that act. I mean, there are. I've had some friends that have complained to me about Asian guys, specifically, I guess, like brown guys are very that say they're super religious or whatever, but
They're not.
then
Yeah.
they might judge girls
Oh yeah.
that are not the ideal under their religion.
Yeah.
But then he's 10 million times more quote unquote sinful,
Yeah.
things like that. The ones that live and breathe League or Valorant, they live
The
for, die
gamers.
for. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can put it that way.
God, that's such a big one too. Like gamer boys and girls. Ugh. Gamers. Ugh. Listen, if you play Val, if you play
I'm
League,
like increasingly sweating as we record this episode.
all to you, man. But personally, I cannot.
Do you have an answer for your other question?
Um, not really, because I will literally like if you like me back, I'm gonna be so for real right now. You like me back, I do not care. You can come from any category. There are just certain ones that are probably harder for me to like back. You know what I mean? This podcast just took a dark turn.
I can't do this anymore.
Let's move on.
Can I plead the fifth on my answer to your second question?
Yeah.
We are not in America, but I don't care. I'm pleading the fifth. I don't want to answer.
Yeah. I mean, I basically did too. Anyways.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You know, going back to what we were saying about the whole Asian American guy starter pack, I actually was planning on one of these Halloween. Did I might have mentioned this in the last episode.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
We're talking about Halloween? Okay. Maybe I just told you on the day.
Yeah.
But one of these future Halloweens, I actually want to be that. I want to be the starter pack Asian American guy for Halloween. I want silver chain.
Cross
Yes.
earrings.
I do not own. Can you lend me?
Yeah, of course.
Or I could just do a hoop. I don't know if I have small enough. That's okay. Maybe a tank top or something. Oh, or a black t-shirt. Just a plain, solid t-shirt. Some jeans. If anyone would like to lend me some shoes. What would you consider starter pack?
Panda dunks.
What did you just say?
Panda dunks.
What is that?
The black and white, like low top Nike shoes.
Panda dunk? Panda? Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. Panda dunk. Oh, that's what those are called. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're so right. Oh my gosh. Would anyone like to lend me their panda dunk? I will. How will I repay? Um, let's not make any promises right now.
Anyways.
Would Air Force One?
Yeah. Those are pretty general
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Converse? I don't know anymore. But like I said, I'm planning on that's gonna be a future Halloween costume. I might even, who knows? I might even do a fake tattoo.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, imagine. Let me get a fake dragon tattoo.
Crazy Halloween
A
costume.
fake sleeve. Bro, the day, the Halloween day that I am a Kevin, I am not gonna know how to act.
Oh God. Going back to what Tiffany was kind of touching upon earlier, there's so many categories, and the general experience of not really fitting into one, like it's kind of like floating in between a bunch. And this is in general, and for our own, there's already this like other feeling or being in the middle when you are Asian American, because like again, you're not necessarily considered American, quote unquote, or whatever, um wherever you live, and you're not really considered whatever type of Asian you are, like a mainland Asian. You are your own entity, I'd say, which is already floating in the middle. And with the rise of, categorization within like aesthetics and personalities and everything, that's a whole other layer of being in the middle. You're in the middle of the middle. And, sometimes people are okay with that because they feel unique, they feel like their own individual, and sometimes people feel like they don't fit in. And it can be like kind of lonely. You're already in the middle of, your parents' culture and the society that you are surrounded by. And then on top of that, you as like a person and your identity, you're also in the middle of different things. And that's very isolating for some people. And I say especially as a teenager as well, because that's when you're really like trying to find yourself and where you fit in. It can be hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the struggles or one of the reasons why people think about categories, and I mean, what I was saying about how I have a hard time not choosing, but I guess identifying with a category. When you have a category, it could potentially be easier to make friends or
Mm-hmm.
to, because you naturally have things in common with other people. I mean, if you're a K-pop Asian or you're a Sanrio, Sanrio girl,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy. There's an existing niche, there's an existing group for that. And I mean,
Yeah.
I had a friend from the States who was trying to get into an Asian sorority, and she didn't get in.
Oh.
Spoiler alert. But she kind of struggled with that, the general process, and then not getting in because
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of an isolating experience in the sense that they were kind of, it seems like they were just looking for a specific type of person. And I mean, there are
Uh-huh.
memes and jokes about this, about trying to fit in with the quote unquote popular Asians. Like, oh my God, do you listen to New Jeans? Have you heard blah blah? Insert name of Asian club, or let's go to a rave.
Uh-huh.
Stuff like that. And when you don't fit into an Asian category or or I guess one of the popular Asian categories, you can get left out
Yeah.
because maybe you're not quote unquote Asian enough in that sense. They think you're not Asian enough, and so you don't get to hang out with them. And I mean, you could be not Asian enough in many ways. You could be not, because I have at times truly felt like I wasn't Asian American enough.
Mm.
And it doesn't necessarily make me want to change and be a different person. It's just something that I think about sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
I am not that Asian American girl that goes, that is in an Asian sorority or that loves Valorant, that is obsessed with, I don't know, Blackpink and New Jeans, or goes to raves, or let me think. There's a very specific type of person that you are when you are that Asian American girl.
Mm-hmm.
The interest or the aesthetic, for instance, like the false eyelashes,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And when we say these things, we don't mean hate to any of the people in the categories. I guess
Of course
maybe
not.
maybe in the earlier part of the episode when
Oh
bringing it up
yeah.
is
All hate to the gym cells, but you're not
what
listening.
I mean, we don't know that.
We don't know that, but you're most likely not listening.
If they were listening, they probably stopped listening.
Yeah.
When I mentioned the hairstyle. Where was I? Oh, right. I don't identify with that. And so, because even though I said that I do not wish to change who I am, I do not wish to completely change the way I look or my interests or anything like that to fit in. There have been times when I feel, oh, it wouldn't it just be so simple? Wouldn't it just be so easy if I actually was
Conform to a category.
completely just that Asian American girl? Because think
Mm-hmm.
about how easy it would be to just be in that circle, that massive circle. Because I wouldn't say I struggle, but it's just something I think about because I'm not a FOB, I'm not a rich international student. So even though I do hang out with them sometimes and I talk to them, I do not have a Ferrari, nor do I have like a FOB boyfriend with a Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
And so when their way of hanging out is very unique to my lifestyle, or not unique, wait, does that make sense? Unique from my lifestyle.
You're like
And
different. Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the extreme Asian American, what they do is also very different from my lifestyle. Because I remember I was talking to people at this Asian American club, not a nightclub, like a an extracurricular club.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the need to clarify. And they were talking about doing a group Valorant game, and I was like, oh no, I can't participate in that. That's not really my thing. And so sometimes I just think, wouldn't it be so easy if I was just one or the other? Because you could just do all the things.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong, and I have never felt like there was anything wrong with what I am, I guess, floating. Because in a sense, if you think about it, you get the best of both worlds,
Yeah. Exactly.
right? And I mean, you do not have to fit into any category, but you also don't have to be super unique.
That's
Does that
true.
make sense?
Yeah.
Because
Like
part
if
of
you
the issue
like
with
fitting in, that's
yeah,
fine.
part of the issue with categorization is it pressures people to fit in with the popular crowd, but then it also pressures people to be super unique. Oh, I'm not like I'm not like other girls.
Oh God.
Where it's like, oh, I'm not like those Asian Americans. I'm a
Insert something here.
I don't know, I'm an alt Asian, or
Yeah.
I'm not like the alt Asians. Ew, I like K-pop,
Mhm.
things like that. And so, while categories can be fun and nice, they don't matter. At the end of the day, we're all people,
Mhm.
and that's just what it is. I mean,
Exactly. You don't need a category in order to be appreciated as a human
mhm.
being.
And I mean, you don't even have to make friends just because you like you are one type of person. Your friends don't all have to be that type of person. You could be friends with anybody,
Hmm.
which sometimes is easier said than done. I understand. And I mean, if you are in a stage of life where you are having an identity crisis about being a type of Asian or not being a type of Asian. It is definitely easier said than done, but you are perfectly fine.
Hmm.
I am not I'm not a type of Asian, really, in my opinion at least.
Same.
And we're doing perfectly fine. You can still make friends, still have friends,
Hmm.
and you can still have fun and go about life. We're all just Asian. Does it really matter that
So
you're
true.
a Sanrio Asian or a
Hmm.
I can't think of anything right now. A fashion Asian? Is that even a thing?
I mean, regardless, doesn't matter. We are all here together. We
Hmm.
don't have to, and like categories sometimes can divide people.
They do. It's so easy. I mean, that's how you get the whole popular and not popular.
Yeah. So,
And I mean, even beyond this thing about categories, sometimes, I mean, we've talked about this in the past about how you try to fit into Western culture. That's also an issue that a lot of Asian Americans struggle with. Because before K-pop, before Chinese dramas, Asian makeup, skincare was popular, we were not cool. And I mean, we still aren't even really cool. We started being cool a couple years ago,
mhm.
and we're still kind of new to this whole Asians are kind of cool now. But the thing is, not even all Asians are quote unquote cool now. It's just East Asians, more specifically Koreans and Japanese and
Yeah.
Chinese Asians. And that's a whole other thing.
Mhm. Again, all in all, if you want to fit in, you want to label yourself as a category because it makes you happy, that's fine. If you don't like to label yourself, don't feel pressured to. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
I think ending on the note of do what makes you happy is a great way to end off this episode. What do you think, Tiffany?
Imagine I just disagreed.
Yeah, no happy.
No happy.
No happy.
Oh my, oh my God, imagine. Anyways, yes, categories don't matter. You can, like Rihanna said, you can definitely take a category or want to be a category, but you don't have to. And you shouldn't have to feel restricted or constrained by what your supposed category is supposed to like or do
Mm-hmm.
either.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, oh, people in my category don't typically listen to this type of music. What are they gonna think? How are they even gonna know? My question. But in general, it doesn't matter. It's easier to say that because I'm not the person thinking this,
Mm-hmm.
but live life how you want to. Just do your thing. I mean, if me, I mean, honestly, if being a starter pack Asian guy is what makes you happy, oh, who am I to stop you, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly working, right?
Yeah.
it's transcended. Well, I don't know if I can think it's transcended generations, but you get the point. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope you found some, I don't know if I want to say inspiration, but we hope that if you had any type of identity crisis about type of Asian you are or aren't, that maybe we gave you a little bit of direction or some motivation. Because I have really thought about this recently, and then just every once in a while, a little voice in my head. And so, if you've had that voice in your head, we hope we scared it away. And let us know. I mean, leave a comment about any categories you think that we may have missed, or any new categories you've heard about. What category do you think you are, if you identify with one? Do you have any answers to Rihanna's questions
Yeah.
about Asian guy type that you like or don't like? I'm being so serious right now. I really wasn't expecting to say that. That's why. I mean, I think the audience and you yourself definitely heard my surprise.
Yes, we did. Yeah, let us know. Well, if you guys liked this episode and want to stay connected with us, check out our website in the description. It contains links to our streaming platforms such as Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and more. Follow us for more behind the scenes content, announcements, and other random things we decide to put on there.